Amazing.
Okay, so what I really wanted to do was talk to people about collaboration and it is networking, but particularly within the Keller Group. I don't think a lot of people realise just how big this network is and how beneficial it is, you know, to grow your own business by working with other agents. The command system that I mentioned a minute ago is part of the, I think it belongs to actually the Keller, USA. I think it's their massive database and everybody's in it. You should be in it. I'm certainly in it. The whole world's in it. It's got everything in there. So if you're looking, if you've got a client, for instance, that's moving abroad, you can collaborate with an agent abroad and get a commission from it. So, but you need to use the system. I'm not an expert, I've got to say. I do fumble with it every time I go in it, but there's a map in there and you can locate anybody. The other one that everyone should get familiar with as well is KW UK, because again, we're all in it. It is only the UK on that database. But if you've got a client who's you're selling in your area, but they're moving out of your area, you can contact another Keller agent. They may be in the Plus group, they may not, they might be in Oxygen or one of the others, but again, you've got that referral ability and you're always going to get 25% of the deal. So it just adds, it gives us an extra sort of arm, you know, to our sort of distribution area, if you like. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and share my screen. I'm not even sure how to do this, and jump straight into the command system so I can show you just how to navigate international. Right, share screen, that one. Oh God. Right, now how do I do this? I think it's that one. Yeah. Right, now I need to go onto the right page, I think. Oh God. Beverly, I wish you was here because you're an expert at this and I'm not. Hang on. Oh God, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing here. Right. I can only see the Zoom thing. Sorry, guys.
What's that for sharing, Rose?
Yeah, right. Hang on. I'm going to stop sharing and then I need to click on the page that I want you to see, I think, don't I?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. Click on that first and then try again. Share screen. I'm not an expert on this, so we need to do it now. Share. Right. Hopefully, you can all see my command screen. Can you see it? Yep. Right. So if you haven't been on it before and you don't know how to get onto it, you will need it. Normally, it comes as part of your onboarding. It's set up for you. If you're not sure, then I would suggest speak to probably Beverly, and she'll get the links resent to you if you haven't got it. I've got to be honest, I've already logged in deliberately because they've got this new security stupid thing on it that you have to click the boxes. So it says like click all the motorbikes, click all this, and it can take several attempts to actually get past that screen to get into the main page. So I've already got into it. This is what the main home screen looks like. There's lots of sections to it. I'm going to go straight to the map section. So on the left, you've got referrals. If you click that, it will then bring up another screen and you've got dashboard, my referrals, map, and my network. If you go straight to the map, just got to remember how to do this. You can type in the first box an area. So I'm going to go Spain just because it's my favourite place in the world. You click Spain. It will then bring, if you click on the other box and put market centres, it will then, you can see the red market centres. So you can zoom out. I always go to the Valencia one, if it's still there. Yeah, there we go. So click on that. And you'll see on the right-hand side, it lists all the active agents. So if you had a client moving to Spain, you can click the agent and it will give you their details. Now, it's possible that this guy may not speak English. I don't know. Some of their agents do speak very good English, some of them don't. But you can directly email them, you can phone them. The ones that I've been in contact with myself are all over the place. Greece, Turkey, Dubai, all over the world, to be honest. And my initial approach has been to send them an email, and then I've ended up booking Zoom calls. So I have spoken to quite a few different agents. I can't get out of this now. Good. Hang on. Sorry. It's opened buttons on other bits. I want to go back and I don't know how to. Right, hang on, let's close that. But yeah, it is very simple to find someone abroad, an agent abroad with Keller, and then make contact with them to collaborate. I'm just going to try and get rid of that screen. I don't want to log out of it. That's the problem. Go back. Oh, God. Sorry, guys.
There it goes.
I'm absolutely hopeless at this. It's giving me a toolbar across my toolbar, so I can't see what I'm actually doing. I don't know how to get rid of it. Let's make that one. Make that one. Yeah, I'm frightened I'm going to click the wrong one here and knock you lot right off. I'm very good at clicking the wrong buttons. I'm going to go back to connect. That'd be the easiest way to do it. Sorry, command. Go back to referrals. Go back to the map. I'll show you just now so you can see the UK one as well. Market centres. So you can actually find bus on here. Again, if you click that one, should come up on the right. There you go. Right, can you see the drop-down list on the right? So you can see Peter at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I would say to everyone is get in there and get your pictures on. As you can see, like hardly anyone has. In fact, I think there's only a few of us that have actually put our pictures up there. But you can go in there, you can add bio, information about you and your area and all the rest of it, so that other people can pick you up and find you from anywhere within the Keller network. I mean, the opportunity is absolutely massive. And I don't think it's being used anywhere near as much as it should. So going back to just the UK for the minute, if you get a seller, we've had it recently, Peter and I have had quite a few. Charlotte and I have got one actually just exchanged last week. So Charlotte's sort of Hanningfield, I think, area around there. She actually had a client buying a really nice big property in her area that she was selling. Their property's in Hornchurch, where I live, or just around the corner. So she referred them back to me. I've sold theirs. They're obviously buying hers. Between us, the actual power it gives you as well when you're in a chain. I mean, this was a big chain, and I've got to take my hat off to Charlotte because she has worked like a Trojan on the whole chain to get it through. Before Christmas, the solicitors involved, I think there's 5 properties, so it's a lot of people, a lot of solicitors, a lot of stress, and she was talking right the way through the chain. In fact, the one at the bottom, a first-time buyer from Balgores, spoke to Charlotte more than she spoke to Balgores. But if she hadn't have worked so hard, and between us, we worked really hard talking to the solicitors and everything to get the deal done, finally we've exchanged. But it's been a really sort of like long one. But obviously the benefit for Charlotte, she's got the fee on her own property, plus she gets 25% of the one that I sold that she referred to me. So it just works, and it gives you so much power in getting chains to work together as well. Peter and I have got a number of them going on at the moment, as I said, and we've had quite a few already completed last year. It just gives us that extra reach, and it gives us the ability to go to another agent. And when you're talking to your sellers, recently, again, going to Peter, I've got a lady buying a property off me in Brentwood. She's got a flat in Brentwood. I don't really cover Brentwood unless it's for an existing client or someone who's been referred to me. So I've introduced her to Peter. She loves him, you know, he works like I do. So he's just gone on the market, I think. So again, we've got the two together in that chain. There should be one more, I think. So I'm now talking to, again, Peter, because it's his area. My seller wants to move into a flat in that area, specifically where Peter actually lives. Charlie, get out. So he's going to be looking out for stuff for her. If we can sort of keep as many of us in the chain as we can, not only does it obviously give us more revenue, but it just makes the whole transaction so much better and easier. So I think it's really important, and I really think people need to get into this command system.
Can I add something to that, Rose?
Sure.
One thing that me and Rose spotted last year, sort of early last year, was that there was a bit of a sort of pattern, a bit of sort of migration pattern going on and caused by the Elizabeth line, to be fair. But we spotted that there was a lot of people from East London starting to move out towards Rose's area. And then a lot of people from Rose's area moving to Brentwood. And to be fair, that's kind of where most of our deals have kind of come from, where we've worked together, is that where Rose has got a property to sell, or I've got a buyer that's buying in Brentwood but lives in Rose's area. So it's quite interesting wherever you guys are all located to see, is there some sort of migration pattern going on?
Yeah.
Are there buyers coming from a certain area to move to your area? Or are there buyers or are there sellers from your area moving to a certain area? And then try and find a KW agent that maybe is in and around that area, because you know, the last year, I mean, we've worked very, very closely together.
Yeah, I feel like
We
we're
started
married.
from spotting a bit of a trend that was going on.
Feel jealous now, Rose.
Sorry?
I feel jealous now.
It's actually worked really, really well. And the other thing that I think is great about it is you do, like Peter just said, I mean, I feel like I know Peter like my brother. Same with Charlotte. We've worked together so closely on these deals. You build up like hella relationships. And the first person I think of, if I've got someone going over that way, would be Peter or Roger or Charlotte or whoever, because we've already worked together quite a lot. I've also had, I don't know if Daryl's on the call, but Daryl has been nurturing one of my client's brothers. Hi, Daryl. For nearly 2 years. Now, he will get that house when that guy has finished clearing it out. He's a bit of a hoarder, very slow mover.
Yep.
Daryl is in contact with him, very sort of like not in his face every week, because that wouldn't work, but he's doing it the right way, and he will get that. And I'm pretty sure that is going to come on like early part of this year.
Yeah, he said, yeah, still clear it. Yeah, it's been probably 18 months or so I've been speaking with him now.
That's it.
And he's not quite ready yet for me to come round to visit his property, but he's openly said, well, if you work like Rose, I'm not going anywhere else. It's just waiting for him to be ready.
Yeah, and he won't go anywhere else. I dealt with his father's property and his sister, who was my contact here, because obviously he's up north and she's down round the corner to where I live. It was a really delicate one. Obviously, Dad's died. The house was a family home. They had several agents go and look at it. And then it was actually one of my other sellers who was friends with this lady said, you need to see Rose before you do anything, see Rose. And I went round to see her and I dealt with all of it. And that's how this particular one came about. Now, that guy said to me, please, can you come up? And I said, no, it's too far, but I can put you in touch with someone who works just like me. He'll look after you. And that's exactly what's happening. So Daryl has just been dripping water on it, say, 18 months. It'll be 2 years this year. And he will get it. It's just a shame the circumstances of the guy are a long one. But it's something that many, many agents, they don't nurture their clients. So it's a guaranteed, he's not going anywhere else. And at some point, I hope early part of this year, Daryl's going to get that deal. So the power we've got is, I couldn't have done that if I was working for Balgores up the road or any of the other agents around here.
Using Daryl as an example, Rose,
Yeah.
I've got to say this one just because it's Daryl. Where are you, in Doncaster or Rotherham, or?
Yeah, I'm based in Rotherham.
You're in Rotherham. So me and Daryl had a deal that went from Rotherham to Brentwood to Costa Rica.
Wow.
So I mean, that's the most unlikeliest thing you're probably
Yeah.
ever going to get, but that's the power of the network. Daryl contacted me just after I'd been to family reunion and said, you know, when you was over in family reunion, you didn't happen to meet anybody from Costa Rica, did you? And I did. And
Oh,
Daryl
wow.
said, because one of my clients said to me, you know, you're global. Well, I've got something in Costa Rica. Is there anything that you can do to help us? So Daryl came to me, and then we both then targeted a couple of agents in Costa Rica, and we had one complete.
Wow. That
So
just
that
shows
is the
you
power of
how,
the network. It could
yeah,
be referral to somebody else.
yeah.
Okay.
It is really amazing what we've actually got. And I think particularly, I mean, even estate agents, experienced agents that have come into Keller that have worked with local companies, they're not going to do this. It's not the norm. And I think my background, because I started in Spain, when you're over there working, you've got a network, you've got to work with other agents. So I did everything sort of back to front. I started in Spain and then came to England. But the power of the network there was with, not Keller, obviously, because I was doing something on my own then, but I learned to work with and who I could trust. And we managed to build up a really good network, who I'm still in contact with in Spain. And that, when I joined Keller, that was one of the key things when I joined Keller that attracted me to it, because it's like, wow, you've got this international reach. Charlie, shh, they're not talking to you, shush. That you just haven't got anywhere else. And that's a classic that Peter's just said, you know, it starts local and then suddenly you've got someone who wants to go somewhere else in the world. Just go in this map and you can find, I've zoomed out a little bit, going back to the map, and you can see all the red market centres. The little blue ones, I'm not quite sure what they are, except they do have people in them. So I think they're not necessarily market centres, but they're a small group of agents. But you can see, looking at this, if you just look at the red dots, we're everywhere. And it's so easy to go into this and just click one of those. I don't even know where that is. Yeah, see, they're quite small. But if you go in the bigger ones, it will bring up your local market centre. And then, and there's a Scottish one there. And then you can contact the people in that centre. So I think we've got a very, very powerful system as well that many are not really familiar with. And I really highly recommend that you get familiar with this part of Command. I mean, I've got to be honest, I don't do anything else in Command. I only ever come to this map to look for other agents all over the place. And the other one, I don't know if I can flip screens, I was going to go on to the KW one, because again, I'm not sure how much people use that. I'm going to unshare my screen for 2 seconds and try and go back to the right page. Right, hang on. Because I just wanted to quickly show this one as well. Share screen. I really must become familiar with this Zoom stuff. Right, I've just reshared the other screen. So this is the Keller UK agent finder. Well, it's the website. So you can look for property. So if you've got someone moving out of your area and you want to help them, which we do, and I know Peter does, is looking to see if we've got agents with something that might be suitable for them in that area, then we can approach whoever the agent might be. But if you want to just find agents, you just go to the search on the top, click agent and put in the postcode. I'm going to put in mine just for the demo, if you like. So that's my home postcode. It brings up myself and Billy Drury, because he's based, I think, in Hornchurch. So if you want to find a Keller agent in the UK to try and do a deal with, you can either use Command, which will give you the whole of the market centre and everybody in it, or you can just go to the KW UK, put in the postcode of the property of your client or where they want to be, and it will give you the nearest agent. So we've got lots of resources that are actually, even though I'm not very good with these systems, they are easy to use. And I just really think that we should be exploiting it, and we're not. There's a lot of business to be had. When I looked at my list at the moment there's a whole pile of stuff going through. I think there was, out of about 11 going through sales, 8 of those are either KW, well, they're mostly KW referrals. There's a couple of broker referrals in there, but they're mostly through working within our market centre as well. Obviously, Charlotte I've already mentioned, Peter I've already mentioned. Peter and I've got a few on the go. I've got another one coming back on this week from Peter. We did sell it, but then the seller decided to change their minds, and anyway, it's coming back on. But when I look at the vowels as well, most of my vowels are either KW referrals or referrals from my broker, even Facebook groups. So there's so much to networking in general, but specifically for this one, it was really wanting to focus on the Keller and what we've got, you know, in our company. And I really feel like people should look into this and start looking at working within the group, because it just makes the deals so much easier to get through in the end. Has anyone got any questions?
I haven't got a question, but I would just reiterate that what Rose said earlier is get yourself into Command and update your profiles, get your photo on there. You know, you can use your profile information that you've used across any of your social medias and just copy and paste it in. You know, you'll have something on LinkedIn, what have you, just to make yourself visible to all of the other network and the agents across the world.
So if we do that just the once, that will get us into the that will come up on the KW UK as well, will it, Beverly?
So no, they're two different systems. So when you go into Command,
well.
in the top right hand corner, you'll see my profile. You just click on that and you can literally just update that. For the UK one, that should be done for you through the Market Centre. So if you check if you just double check that you're on there, look yourself up, and if not, just upload what you want to be on there through the Market Centre help button.
Right.
Beverly, I've actually set myself up on Command, but I noticed my photograph isn't showing, so I'm not sure, because I was part of Market Centre and now an agent. I think there might be an issue. Do you want me to raise it with the agent help desk?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I think on Command I uploaded my own photo.
Yeah, I did.
I've done it. I've
Okay.
already done all that, but it's not showing as when you scroll down. No,
right.
Have a look, Rose. Find my name.
Right, let me just find you.
But I've done my bio and everything.
That's strange.
There, look.
Yeah, there's Melanie. Yeah, it hasn't. When you go into it, Mel, if you click on the actual picture, I think that's where you can add it.
I did. In my account, I've added absolutely everything because we've set up my global website and everything as well.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it hasn't pulled through to this part.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I have raised a little bit of an issue on a few things, so that's fine. You carry on.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Other than that way there, through clicking the actual picture, I'm not sure how you would do it.
Yeah. Thank you.
But I think everybody needs to have a look at it. I mean, there is a lot to it. It is a huge system. As I say, I only ever go really into the map part. If you haven't logged in before, you don't know how to log in, I'm guessing Beverly's the best person to contact, because I think the links are sent out when you onboard.
Yeah. So is this meant to be with our Keller Williams email as user ID? Because mine's just not working.
Yeah, I log in with my normal email.
Right.
I mean, try it. Click, yeah, if you can't get in, click reset password. That's the only thing I can think to suggest.
Yeah, I don't exist. So I've complained to Command in the US and they've been completely effing useless.
Oh.
Simon, if you click forgot password, it will go through. It won't send you a password to your KW email. It will send it to one that is set on there. So Beverly can have a look into there and find out which email. Now, some people's emails don't exist anymore. They were old emails, so it might be worth checking with Beverly.
Yeah, generally the email that's on command is your personal email. It's not set up with your KW email, so it might be sat in the reset, might be sat in your personal email. But pop something on the MC Helping Nurture, and the girls will get it sorted for you.
Yeah.
Rose, I have a question. I'm sorry, George
Hi, George.
has
Go
a
ahead,
question.
mate. Go ahead.
It's more related, obviously, to I've noticed that you were looking at the Spanish market, and you mentioned that you've been an agent in Spain. And I wanted to ask, how is it? Do you have to speak Spanish? And secondly, in terms of fees, do they charge both the seller and the buyer like it is in my country, in Romania?
Yeah.
Or how's the market there? Like how does it work in terms of fees? And how do you get along if you were to be there for a few months working, asking for a friend?
When I went to Spain, I didn't speak Spanish. I speak bad Spanish now because I had to learn as I was dealing with Spanish sellers. But generally, a lot of the agents will speak English. And obviously, when you're working with the referrals, the idea is that you're literally handing your client over pretty much. So it won't really matter too much if you don't speak Spanish. But you need to get in touch with an agent who speaks English as well if your clients do not speak Spanish. So I'm quite fortunate because I've also, Lucy, I think her name is, down in Alicante. She's English, and she was at, I think she met Peter last year or whatever, at the in Las Vegas or wherever it was. She covers the Alicante region. She's English, speaks fluent Spanish. So you're not going to know until you contact them. But if you drop an email, if they don't speak English, they'll soon tell you.
Are they okay to share their properties? So if you like to post some of the properties that they have available, do they have the videos so you can share them on your page and your network and your other groups can see their properties, and you can then,
One of the things that I've got to be honest, was one of my things last year, and it's back on my list this year. I have sort of like built up relationships with a few of the international agents in Greece, Turkey, and all the rest of it. And I did start last January to do a once a month putting their properties on an email to my database. Now, I've got to be honest, that did slide off the radar because it was very busy and like some things do. But it's definitely back on this year's to send infrequent one-off emails that include information on properties in Greece, Turkey, Spain, all of these agents that I'm in communication with. I'm just like sending randomly out to the database because I've got quite a big database. The chances are, the last time I did it, 2 people came back. Now, they didn't actually end up going anywhere because you do get a lot of dreamers that would like to move abroad and are never going to do it. But that's how it goes. You just work with what you've got, and out of the numbers, you will sooner or later get someone that's going to actually buy abroad. But yes, you can do that if you make contact with them. The ones in Cyprus, I think, and Turkey that I'm in contact with, they send me once a month. They do like a pick of their best for the month, and they'll send me a few property pictures, bit of information, which I can then put into an email in Nurture and send to my whole database if I want to. So yes, you can do that. The fee split through the Keller network is generally 25%. But again, you're going to find differences in that because, as you mentioned, in Spain, the norm is to charge 3% to the seller and 3% to the buyer. Their fee is 6%. Yeah. So even if you're only getting 25% of that fee, that's a hell of a lot more than you'll ever get in the UK. So a 25% fee can actually work out similar to what you would get for selling one property here. We are the lowest paid agents in the world, I think.
Yeah, it's the same in Romania. That's what I mentioned about the fees. And in Italy, it's the same. They charge both. They're different markets. In the UK, it's the seller market. That's why we're paid like that.
It's quite odd as well. And what you will find resistance when you send someone, I'll use Spain as an example, but when you send a client to Spain, you need to explain to them before they even talk to an agent, you will be charged a fee. Because over here, that, although there are people out there doing buyer's agency, and there are people who will pay for a buyer's agency. But generally speaking, most people have not got a clue that when you go abroad as a buyer, you're going to pay a fee. So I just tell people, you know, the norm in it doesn't work the same as here. The other thing is, like, you put a deposit down, you pull out, you lose it. Over here, you can mess about for months and months and months and pull out last minute, and there's no financial penalty. So your clients need to just be aware of that, you know, before they set off to go abroad, expect to pay a fee.
I think
and also the stamp duty. I mean, Spain stamp duty is 10%. So, I mean, I'm going back a long, long time when I lived there, but we used to say then, like, whatever your budget is, calculate 10%, because at the time there was like 7% stamp duty, 3% agency fee. So calculate at least 10% on top of what you're going to spend. Now you need to tell people more like 15%. And as long as people know that's the norm, then that's it. If you want to buy abroad, you got to pay.
Thank you, Rose. These were my questions. Thank you very much.
No worries. Any others?
It's just a bit cheeky, really, Rose. You've just said about how you've built up some very good connections in Greece and Turkey and Spain.
Yeah.
As opposed to going and finding a random person in Spain.
Yeah.
Could we work through you and split whatever with you?
I'm not sure how easy that would work, to be honest, because the people that are there, you can actually contact directly yourself.
Yeah.
And they will do the same with you. They're keen to work with Keller agents. So, I mean, I can put you in touch with the ones that I'm in touch with, no problem. What I did with all of them was set up a Zoom meeting, contacted them just to have the general chat, and then had a Zoom meeting with each of them. And then they start sending me stuff through the email.
Yeah.
It is actually very easy. And you'll find, especially in those countries like Greece, Turkey, they're very receptive because they need buyers, and they love the international buyers. So essentially, you can reach out. I mean, I can introduce you to them, but have a meeting with them, and then they will send you the information, the pictures, for you to send out to your nurture database. I think the key thing is you need, or you can use it, I mean, you could use it on social media as well. They don't restrict you. I mean, if you've got pictures of a property in Spain and you want to send it out on social media, you can. But again, it's if you've got your database, nurture database, however many you've got in that's really what you're marketing to mostly. I haven't yet started putting stuff out on social media abroad. As I say, I started it this time last year with all the best intentions, but by the end of the year, I had stopped doing those emails. But it's on my radar again to go back to the international market, because there's a lot of people, I don't know about where you are, but in our area, moving abroad, and there's a lot of people going to Spain. So it's not just the Keller network. I mean, I've still got my original network from when I worked there. So these are people I've actually worked with, who I can go to. You know, if Keller haven't got an agent in a specific area, the place where I used to live, which was in the Valencia region, there is no agent. So Keller wouldn't be able to help me on that area. But I've got Debbie, who I've worked with for 20 odd years. So I can send a client to her and she will be willing to split the fee. It's normal.
Yeah.
So there's so much opportunity, but also within our own market centre, within the UK, as Peter said, there is a migration going on. We're seeing loads of people coming from East London, South London, moving into what they call Greater London. We call it Essex because we've been here a long time, but they're moving into our area, and the people in our area are moving out to Peter's area and Basildon, Roger Bates's area, and further afield, Hanningfield. I've got one to speak to Charlotte about, because they're all moving out. So there's this pattern, and it works. Daniel Lewis is another guy that I've got a deal going on with at the moment. Danny Bardwell's another one. So there's so much opportunity just within our own market centre, and within the UK. I really feel people need to look at this and give it a go. Make contacts within the network.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be interesting.
Any other questions? We do it up anyway, Tony, so we'll do that.
Yeah.
I was just going to say on the back of that as well, it is, you know, as well as doing this, collaborating on social media, you know, your peers and your colleagues are sharing their properties on socials, and it doesn't hurt to just share their post. You know, it bumps up your inventory, and you may be able to find a buyer for them and do a deal. Everyone wants to sell their home, so everyone's more than willing to give you part of the fee to get that done and move on. So you might have seen this morning, I will regularly put on the plus, has anyone got any properties they want me to share on socials? And I'll just put them on there, and you never know if you're going to find a buyer, particularly as Rose says, if you're in that particular corridor where migration is happening. It's really beneficial to, you know, share your colleagues' posts for properties and see if you can pick up some business that way, and everyone will appreciate it. If we all help each other and we all support each other, everyone's going to win.
Absolutely. And it does make getting your deals through a lot easier if you've got someone else, Keller, in your chain. Definitely. Just in case you don't have it, there is an agent contact sheet which has been on the updates in the Plus group a couple of times, just so you can see all of the other agents' social media details, so you can follow them and connect with them. So I could actually put that link on the chat now real quick in case you don't have it, and if you just copy and paste it before this Zoom finishes in a few seconds, it's in the chat now. That will give you everyone's social media within the Plus team. Can you see it in the chat, Rose? Oh, yep, I've got it. So you'll have a photo of the agent, you'll have all of their social media details, and it's a shared sheet. You've all got access to it. So please make sure your own details are up to date in there, and you've got your own social media links so people can find you and connect with you and follow you also. So where would you paste that link, Beverly? Just stick it into your URL, or just click on it, and it'll open the shared sheets up. So it's open to everyone. Everyone can update it. Perfect.
Thank you, Beverly.
It's got the postcodes, the area, because obviously we don't know everyone's postcodes. Like sometimes postcode, that means nothing to me. So you've got the area there as well. That is actually one of the things on the KW site, which is irritating, is when you go looking for an agent, you have to put in a postcode or the agent's name. So if you don't know the agent's name, you can't do it. It would be so much better, and I don't know if it can be added, but where you could just put in a town.
Or just the first part of the postcode.
Or even that RM3, yeah.
Yeah, because
you can't. You have to put in a specific postcode, which is annoying. Whereas if you go on command to the market centre group, at least then you can literally get a drop-down list of all the agents in any given market centre. So if you've got an idea, you know, if you've got a rough idea of where they are, but if you click into them, I know it might be time consuming if you're not sure, but you'll get this specific information out of that system as well. But definitely recommend, make this your year for collaborating. You will make a lot more money if you do.
Yes,
I think it's a good idea. It's actually a filter that it's to be applied. My friends are programmers, that's why I know. But it's going to take a while because it's some implementation. Yeah. In the background, and it's about programming. And then it's not just that, you have to have the button itself. So you have to change the whole thing and relaunch. Yeah, it's not an easy ask. I get that. That's probably why it isn't on there. But it's a bit like with Rightmove, for instance. You can put a postcode in there, but you've got to put the whole postcode. But you can put a town in, but you can't put a specific road. But again, they're never going to change it because they've got, you know, it is what it is. If you want to go somewhere, you've got to find the postcode. Yes. Any other questions?
No, it's really helpful. Thank you, Rose.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Rose. That's brilliant.
More than welcome. Thank you, Beverly.
Highly recommend you all jump on command and have a look.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much.
Have a good day. Let's
have a good day, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.